Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning. In the morning.
Check this thing on.
1 2 1 2.
3 4 3 4.
All right. Visuals up. Check 1 2. Mic sounds nice.
Is this thing on? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. Say it again. Check 1 2. Uh-oh. All systems kind of go. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good morning, good morning. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Pulls you in just in time.
Oh, okay. Good.
Thanks for joining us. It is Friday. What is the date today? I don't even know the date today. What's going on here?
It's the 15th.
There you go. Friday the 15th, 2023. Appreciate everybody that's joining us this morning on a special edition of First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the D's.
Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd. As you can see, Buddy is live from the Culture House.
Man, trying to get my marbles.
Trying to get things set up this morning. Yeah,
man.
So apologize if we can run into any technical difficulties. Sounds like we got it up and running now. So just in time. Yeah, appreciate you joining us. I appreciate everybody over on the radio channel as well checking us out. I already got some good reports on the mix, so appreciate that very much. And thank you for everybody who's getting up early in the chat. I can see the chat going off this morning. I'm gonna lead that you deserve Leah Keister's. I'm gonna lead that for you today, buddy.
Yeah.
That's all you right there.
Okay, happy Friday, yay, yo, yippee, yay, yo, yay.
Got it. Okay. First time's a charm. What's up, Leah Keister?
All right.
Marlon Harrison says, "Thank God it's Friday, family." What's going on, brother Marlon? Gwen Easter gives us a good morning. Wanda Lewis gives us a good morning. And Amy Huffless gives us a good morning. So we have YouTube and Facebook working.
Okay.
We got something going for us. Appreciate it. And once again, we're live right here on Facebook and YouTube. Give us a like and subscribe on YouTube if you would. Buddy is live from the Culture House this morning, where we'll also be tomorrow morning for our content creators course.
Yeah.
Glad to have you in town, bro. I'm glad you're over there repping at the Culture House. That's what's up.
B-Town. I'm kind of already making my to the Flatwater event last night. Saturday.
Okay, you cut out pretty bad there. I don't know if you plugged into the internet, but you were skipping around. We couldn't hear what you said.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you dragging out.
I'll
let you get that together here, Pops.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you
now.
Yeah, we can kind of hear you lagging pretty bad though.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll get that going. Again, thank you very much. Yeah, Buddy in the 402. That's right. Thank you very much for bearing with us through the technical difficulties. Whenever we're outside of our setup situation, we have to deal with a few things. So yeah, just give us a little time on that. We'll get it going. Pop says good Friday morning and mad love, First Sky. Appreciate you, Pops. Appreciate you very much. I've been looking at some tickets, man. Got to get out. Got to get out to the Midwest or out to the West and see what's up. Get out of the Midwest, see what's going on. So you might be seeing me soon. But yeah, it sounds pretty good. So anyway, yeah, like we were saying, we'll be at Content Creators Camp again tomorrow morning. We got Chris Baby Boy Bowling that's going to be coming through tomorrow to do some instruction. Really looking forward to seeing what he got. Seeing what's going on with him because dude is dude has a couple of things that he's going to be instructing us on. I believe tomorrow he's going to be talking about writing for the digital age and some other subjects. So that's what's up. Oh, lost Buddy again. Okay, there he is back. Okay, yeah, it looks like you're gonna have some internet difficulties over there. Yep. Okay. Okay, he's jumping back in. He's gonna keep on jumping in until we get him down solid. But anyway, yeah, Chris Baby Boy Bowling will be around tomorrow, and that'll be cool. Today we got special guests coming in. Today we'll be politicking with P. It's always a good time to catch up with Precious McKesson. So stay tuned for her a little later on in the show, and it'll be a good conversation. I'm quite sure we have a lot to catch up with her on, and it'll be fun. It'll be real fun. Trying to grab that baby boy bowling picture. Him in this hat cracks me up, man. Let me see if I can grab it for you. Yeah. He's looking real gangster right here in this. I love it. But yeah, Content Creators Camp Week 6 is happening tomorrow at the Culture House. Shout out to Marcy Yates for allowing us to do that over at the Culture House and allowing us to broadcast live this morning from the Culture House as well. So he's we're finding some good partnership with Culture House. Of course, we knew we would. It's always a matter of figuring out how we can do that, and so yeah, we're gonna keep on going with it, and then until we figure out some more stuff to do together. I think we can safely say that we have the same kind of missions, and that place was a place of activism even before. I remember in 2020, man, that's where you made your Black Lives Matter signs at and everything. So it's going down. They've been in the game for a little minute. So shout out to Marcy Yates, the Culture House, everybody behind the Culture House. We even got our man Dalamar Black Excellence over there at the Culture House as well. So some of the squad is there. Yeah, so it's always a good time over there. Kimber Snipes gives us a good morning. Appreciate that very much. And we're kind of waiting on Buddy to come back in. He's having a little technical difficulty. He is in town over at the Culture House, Kimber, and so he's trying to get it together so he can come on through. I saw your notes. You had extensive notes. I only got through about a quarter of them before I had to do something else. But I appreciate you dropping your notes and friends of First Sky Omaha, and for everybody to kind of take a look at. And yeah, I'd love to go back and run through those. And anytime that you go into any kind of those meetings and you're taking notes, we would love to see them. Even if we can't get to them right away, we definitely would love to sift through your thought process. And it's really amazing how you take notes. First of all, I'm just really tripping on that because they're so complete and well or organized as well. My notes look like chicken scratch all over the place. So yeah, we really appreciate you doing that. And and keep it up, please. Let us know how you're doing. We'd love to hear from you. This is Friday, so we're going to have an extensive HAPS a little later on today. We'll definitely be talking about a lot of things that's going on coming up this weekend. And you guys have already started putting HAPS in Friends of First Sky Omaha, so that's great. And we appreciate that. We've been pulling some of those, and we'll talk about them a little later on in the show. Of course, we're still looking for Brother Blake. Levi Blake is 80 years old, 5'9". He's been missing for a while now, since August 17th. So that's still the family's still out looking. We definitely want to help them do that, and so please keep your eyes open there for Brother Blake, and we'll keep on posting this until he's hopefully found. So I said last time he was seen was August 17th. If you see him, please contact 470-216-5793 or 531-203-3810. Appreciate it if you did that, and I will definitely kind of keep our eyes open for Brother Blake. But like I said, extensive haps coming up here pretty soon. We got Buddy back in. We'll see how he's working.
Yeah, how about now?
Oh, yeah, looks like you're good to go.
Okay. Hopefully
Sounds
we
like you're good to go.
hopefully we can maintain throughout these next 2 hours. We'll see.
Hopefully we can. Yeah. Well, it'll help to be able to have a nice conversation with Precious. I let him know that Precious is coming on this morning.
Yes,
So
yes.
yeah, it's gonna be fun. And before you popped off the second time, you said that you went to the flat water thing last night.
Yeah,
Okay.
so Flatwater had an event for journalists, met faces and some familiar faces that that definitely okay.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Internet got you jumpy there a little bit, man.
Hmm.
Uh, Pops, I was wondering about them cyber attacks that's been going on in Vegas. I'm glad you let me know. You said cyber attacks continued in Vegas, and they are spreading to other casinos and businesses. I heard they are like 3 or 4 or 5 days into it already. Man, yeah, we gotta look into that. See that he keeps on telling people don't come to Vegas right now. It's kind of tripping with the weather and the cyber attacks in the casinos. Yeah, I appreciate you giving us an update on that. Buddy, you still there?
Yeah, yeah, I'm still here. Internet. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you still super choppy, so internet must be really bad right there right now, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah, the dude.
Yeah, I don't know if you got it plugged up or if you're going off of Wi-Fi. You might want to move if you know what to do if you're going
Yep,
get
yep,
closer to the Wi-Fi.
yep.
Yeah, yeah. Brooke gives us a good morning on YouTube. What's happening, Brooke? Appreciate you coming on in. I had dinner last night with Jonathan Benjamin Alvarado and his wife Beth, who gave me a shout out on the radio channel. She listens pretty faithfully and got some really good words of encouragement too, man. I really love when people are letting us know if we're making some kind of impact or doing something we think it's kind of important that we do it, which is the reason why we keep doing what we're doing. And you do too, obviously, the Chad Chimers that come in with us. We appreciate all of you guys that do that because I feel like we're all on the same page when it comes to why we have these discussions and go over the news and try to provide information, civics lessons, even. Shout out to the senators that come on that really have shown us a thing or two. And so yeah, it was good to catch up with them. That's our Texas correspondent now JBA. So appreciate him for him and Beth last night hanging out, man. It was a good time. It's a good time. Amy and Hutful's in the house. I don't know if you're here yet, but oh yeah, you said good morning earlier. We went to the Puerto Rican spot and had some dinner. So I was feeling good last night. It was great. Buddy was over shaking some hands over at the Flatwater event. Also yesterday, I went to Girls Inc. Gala that they had there at the CenturyLink Center. What's it called? CHI Center now. I call it Quest Center still, but CHI Center. I'm gonna turn you down real quick. CHI Center was popping in big time. A lot of people there. Talked to a whole lot of folks, and it was a really great event. It's hard to hold back tears when you see all the little girls getting up talking about how the program helped them. And I couldn't help but think, man, I wish we could put some more into organizations like Hunter Black Men and stuff like that for young boys as well. But the program they got over there at Girls Inc. just really exploded in the last 5 or 6 years, they said, and is really doing really great work. And it was so good to see like all those little people of color walking around just talking about how great the program was, and you can tell they've worked with them to be able to kind of get up on stage and speak. It was a lot. It was great. It was really good. I'm glad that I was able to go. Shout out to everybody that invited me for that. But yeah, good stuff happening in town. This is the last part of the year, which means there's going to be a lot of galas going on, a lot of dinners happening, fundraisers, all kinds of things like that. This is that time of year where all those things happen. But it's a good time of year to kind of get out. If you're not a part of what's the scene and what's happening in Omaha, shake a lot of hands, talk to a lot of people like that. I ran into Tim Clark yesterday when we went to we both showed up at the Girls Inc. thing, and like Buddy said, he went to the Flatwater event last night and talked to pretty much everybody in in the alternative news field that we've been working with and stuff like that. So that's what's up. Said, buddy, give me a notice. Beautiful out here, weather wise. Yeah, weather's been perfect. I've been driving around in the luck dragon, I call them now, the Cadillac with the top down. I only got a few top down days, so I got a few of them this week. I took it out. That's what it is. Anyway, let us know what's going on in your hearts and minds. We got a few things to talk about today. It's a pretty loose day today, though. There wasn't a whole lot of news happening, so we'll definitely hopefully jump back into some things a little earlier. Buddy, do we got you yet? I see your windows up. Okay, cool. So one sec. So yeah, bear with us here. We're trying to get this going. Buddy's over at the Culture House right now. For those of you that's just joining us, and trying to get things set up over there so he can come on in. But definitely things to talk about. Get your haps set up for the last part of the show. Precious McKesson coming in should be fun. It's gonna be a good time. So yeah, we'll keep it rolling until we can keep it rolling and keep it going. So that's what's up. I talked to who else did I talked to this week? I talked to Senator Wayne, and we're steady trying to figure out what's going on with the DED. We made a little bit of progress. I believe we have a interview coming up with the DED. I also talked to a few people yesterday at the Girls Inc. dinner, and they talked about stuff that's happening too. It seems like there's going to be some big money coming through, big changes happening. They said that some of that money was coming in as early as October. So yeah, it's happening. It's happening now, and there's a lot there's a lot of moving parts. So we're gonna keep on trying to stay up on it. That's going to be it's tough to do because, like I said, a lot of moving parts. But we're going to keep on trying to stay up on it, and of course, we'll keep on reaching out to the people at the DED so we can get word from them directly on some stuff as well. And really looking forward to speaking with them and getting it from the horse's mouth, so to speak. Marlon Harris is saying, please invite Miss Candy Jones, the CEO of Girls Inc., to the show. Okay, yeah, I will absolutely do that. That's a great idea. I'd love to hear more about the program they got going on, and what was the change? Why did it explode so heavily the last 5 or 6 years to such a huge organization? I'm sure it has to do with the funds that have come in, but the way that they expanded in a way that's they're really able to affect a lot more people in our neighborhoods. So need to talk to them for sure. Malik Rogers says a good number of shootings in North Omaha this week, many not mentioned in Omaha 360 notes. Find that interesting. Okay, like I said, Kimmer Snipes put an extensive note message in Friends of First Sky Omaha on the 360 meeting, so we can go back and take a look at her notes and see what her takeaways was. Just hit her up on Friends of First Sky Omaha and check that out. Pretty extensive and complete. So I appreciate you bringing that up and bringing things up that's going on in the neighborhood as well. And yeah, I think the 360 meetings are supposed to be, you know, for those kinds of discussions. From what I understand, there's police are there, and city officials and so on and so forth. So it seems like they should be talking more about it. Kimber Snipe says the notes are only for 7 days. They report every shooting that happened during the previous 7 days. Okay, interesting. Yeah, we'll have to take a look at that. I want to see what's going on in the on the streets right now. That reminds me, I did talk to Brother Kasim. They have some programs going on where they're trying to reach these young folks, reach these young folks as well. So they got something coming up too. If I can find the flyer for it, we'll talk more about later on the show. But the Black Agenda Alliance is doing the gang education prevention topics covered, the reality of gang life versus what children think. What is gang affiliation? How can it lead to trouble? I'm sure that this is, when we think about boots to the roots and people that are actually talking to these kids and trying to intervene in situations as well in order to keep some of this violence down. We have people who are actually, boots to the roots doing that. So shout out to Sherman Wells, shout out to Black Agenda Alliance, shout out to Brother Kasim, shout out to Brother McKinney, who's also part of Black Agenda Alliance and Untamed with Sherman Wells. So we got some people out there that are really, really, really trying to make it happen. But you should support this event right here, Saturday, September the 30th at 2:30 at 5001 North 42nd Street in Omaha. Free food, free admission. Definitely check it out. And if you can donate to it too, man, I'm sure that they have a situation where you can try to donate to that situation so you can help them have more meetings that can intervene. And we'll get that as soon. We're actually going to have Brother Kasim and Sherman Wells on the show very, very soon. There you go, buddy. How you doing?
Man, I don't know. How am I doing?
Oh,
Is that
sounds like you're good right now. Okay.
okay? Okay. As you see, had to kind of reevaluate my situation, my setup.
Yep.
But yeah, definitely caught that. Big shout out to Brother Kasim, Sherman Wells, the work they're doing. Definitely excited to see that. That's kind of the whole embodiment of this season, man. That's real boots to the roots, man. That's what it really looks like. So big shout out. Looking forward to talking to them and hearing more about that event.
Yeah, that's what's up. Kimber says Those are from Wednesday last week up until Wednesday this week. Man, all those are just from a week. You should
Okay.
have you been friends the first guy and seen her notes?
No, no, I haven't. Nah, it's been a busy week for me. I'll be honest. I'll be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, pages the notes. Mama God said oldest son's friend had an interview already. He felt optimistic, but has not received a follow up. Interview where?
From the DD. That's Mama God called me the other day and said that yeah, that a family friend has received an interview for some work he's trying to do, and apparently the DD are reaching out to people.
Okay, that's what's up. So yeah, we're supposed to be getting a we're supposed to be getting a call for an interview soon too. So it's all about getting our stuff together though. You got to make sure you have all your ducks in a row, your paperwork together, all the documents that you're gonna need to bring, all those things. So hopefully that interview will help them out. Brother Kasim is in the chat. He says, "Love and updated flyer coming soon with sponsors, etc." Shout out to First Sky Omaha for the sponsorship. Love, hey, appreciate you, man. We appreciate what you're doing. So no thing on us, man. If we can help, we'll definitely help for sure. Do me a favor and put in your link, man. Also want people to financially support this, so you can do more of these meetings and stuff like that too. So if you got a link for us to be able to donate to it, man, please put that in the chat. Marlon Harrison in the chat said, I printed off a couple of those gang education flyers and dropped some off at a couple of barbershops and libraries. Okay.
Hey,
Appreciate that, man. Check in with Brother Kasim, though. Seem like he got some updated flyers going on, too. So if the information is still good, Brother Kasim, let him know since he's been passing some around. But appreciate the help, Brother Marlon, for passing those around. That's what's up. Appreciate it very much. We are well into the hellos this morning. We haven't even not even got the show started.
man,
So
thank you for holding it down, though, Paul. Thanks, thanks. Yeah,
yeah, man. Yeah. I was hoping that we can get this straight. And but shout out to Marcy Yates, man, for letting us
yeah,
use the Culture House, of course. And I love the fact that they got some setup over there. They're in the game too, man. Everybody got to get their mics and their screens right, because we're in the age of sharing communications over live streams and everything, and Zoom calls and everything else. So got to do it.
yeah, yeah. And to be candid, man, I'll be honest. I left my laptop at home, man. I forgot my laptop. Tried to fly out. So big shout out to Marcy for kind of letting me use some equipment and definitely, letting me use a laptop last minute. Like they're really going above and beyond with the resources. So big shout out to the Culture House.
There you go. And now that we got Buddi3 Da Gawd in, we're gonna go ahead and start the show, ladies and gentlemen. The fresh edition, the First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you chat chimers, ghost listeners, radio listeners. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Once again, thank you for joining us. A fresh edition of First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd. He's over at the Culture House, man. He's live in town, Buddy in town, Buddy about town. It's
Yeah.
going down. So shout out to Marcy Yates for allowing us to be in the Culture House and broadcast from there. We got special guests coming in today. Precious McKesson. It's been a while since we caught up with her, so we're
Too
definitely,
long.
yeah, it's been a little too long. We got to find out what she got going on for sure. I know there's a big event coming up for the Democrats as well. What's the name of that event? It's a dinner that they got going on. I'll look that up. We'll talk to her about it as well. They do this every year, so yeah, we'll have to do it.
This Ben Nelson Gala.
There you go, Ben Nelson Gala. Right. Like I said, it's the time. Whatever you screwing over there, making a lot of noise. You right next to the mic. I don't know if you saw that note. I don't know if you saw that note. I sent you a note like three minutes ago, and I was like, he's still doing it.
No, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
All good. Yes, right, Brother Sanchez. Show must go on. That's what we do. But
Yeah.
yeah, Ben Nelson
I,
Gala, something that's going on. It's gala season right now in a big way. Uh,
Tis the season.
yeah.
Tis the season. I did want to make a side note to brother Mayor Sanchez's point. Paul and I did discuss, I guess, a couple weeks ago about how we're going to go about the show, or like kind of what's important. And I would like to share with y'all, like, this is just doing the show and having this conversation and being able to engage with y'all is the important part.
Mhm.
So we appreciate y'all patience. We appreciate y'all understanding. Sometimes it's gonna be ugly like this, but we're here to engage and here to have a conversation. So definitely let your mind be free and let your voice be heard, and hopefully we can assist you with some good information on this.
Mhm. Yep, yep. It is Friday. We will be sharing some haps a little later on in the show, so get your haps ready. And together with all that, I got all kinds of stuff going on with these haps and didn't name nothing, so I don't know what's going on with anywhere. But I did have there it is right there. This is what I was looking for. That Ben Nelson Gala that's
Yep.
happening September 29th, 2023, the Capital District Marriott in Omaha. I was looking through what was going on here. This is actually part of the site at the Nebraska Democratic Party site, and I was looking through it to see what was going on. I didn't really see any much mention of the money coming into North Omaha and what the senators have
Mm.
done, and I was like, okay, this. I'm sure this is a celebration of what's been going on here in the Democratic Party. So it'd be interesting to see that and talk to Precious about what decisions were made on who, anything that's going on with this gala. Who are they what they celebrating? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what I want to know. Kimber Snice wants to know. I wonder why they took Bob Kerry's name off the gala, huh?
So it was the Bob Kerry Gala before.
You got me, man. This is first I'm learning about any galas at all this year. It's like this is when it's finally coming on my radar. So I'm not sure, but when Precious comes on, we got lots of questions for her about it. So we'll definitely see. Definitely ask. So
Yeah.
stay tuned for her. She got hopefully she got all the answers for us.
Kind of to your point about the LB 1024 and what the senators are doing. I guess what were you expecting to see? Like, were you expecting more fanfare from the Democratic
Yeah,
Party?
them brothers bought $500 million in the North and South Omaha, and it's unprecedented that they did that. And among other things, prison reform, among other things, stuff that's been going on here, the stuff that hasn't happened for a while.
Hmm.
They've been heading up, and it's kind of like against all odds. They've been doing it too. So I feel like they moved the needle for that, and they're Democrats. So I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I was just I could be missing. I mean, it's not like I'm knowing everything that's going on with this gala. They could be doing
Hmm.
something, but it just kind of didn't really seem like it too much from stuff I was reading. So I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you would, I don't know, maybe think it would be kind of more present on the website, or at least mention of it. Just, congrats, but could be wrong. Could be wrong.
Lucia Rodriguez gives us a Buenos Dias this morning. Good morning.
In the D is.
Kimber Snipe says last year was the first time that they changed it. It used to be something else. So last year it became the Bob Kerry and Ben Nelson Gala. Okay. Said Bob Kerry did talk a lot of smack about the party though. Bob Kerry. Okay. Um, yeah.
Bob
I
Kerry.
don't know. Not sure. Not sure what's going on there.
Oh,
Did,
who was Bob Kerry? I'm trying. Was that like a former governor?
you got me, bro. This is but that's before my political enlightenment. So I couldn't tell you. I don't know who was going on before that. Did we miss Gwen Easter in the chat? Good morning, Miss Gwen. I see Mama Dad saying good morning. I didn't see you good morning. So if I missed it, I'm sorry about that. Good morning to you. Marianne Williams says Bob Kerry asked to have his name removed. Okay. There you
Hmm.
go.
Hmm.
There you go. So anyway, yeah, the gala coming up there. We'll have a conversation with Kimmer about it, get some more information. I would like to see that. I mean, in this era of end of the year, there's lots of people asking for money. There's a lot of galas. There's a lot of award ceremonies. There's a lot of stuff going on. All the work, and it is because we've been taking a really close look at what the senators have been doing here. So we know full on that they've gone above and beyond their jobs
Man,
and done something very unprecedented that nobody else in the country has done. Other people in the country are looking at them like, "Them brothers went after some big money and got it."
historic.
Yeah, very historic. So yeah, I hope that they get the flowers while they're around for sure because they need it, man. I was talking to somebody last night. I think I was talking to JBA. Oh yeah, his wife Beth. We were discussing how heartbreaking it is to hear that these brothers are, they're doing all this stuff, man, and still getting the brunt of all the vitriol when it comes to the money. Who's getting the money, who ain't getting the money. Just really it feels like a thankless job sometimes. These things are going on, and I know, I was among that camp before. I understood the process and what was going on. I probably was part of that camp that wasn't thinking too much about it, just politics as usual. But now we have a little insight on exactly all it takes to do stuff, to push bills, to wheel and deal and do what you got to do to make something happen. And
Man,
that, thanks to them coming on for the last 2 seasons. So we're getting firsthand look at them doing the work, them going above and beyond, and them not really getting appreciated. Like this is an extension a little bit to me when it came to what happened with the DED. There was really no mention at all, and maybe we're just looking for them to be mentioned. I don't know. Maybe that's not how it goes all the time. But I think talking to them, they feel a little bit like y'all attacked us. You know what I'm saying? Like we get all
hmm
the attack all the time, even though we're trying to make all the moves. So. Oh no,
yeah, I could definitely see them feeling it from multiple sides, if you
yeah.
will, from their colleagues in the legislature and also the public. Let's be honest, there's been a lot of criticism out there. So yeah, I could definitely understand, and I guess us wanting, like, seeing the historic move and wanting them to get more credit. But the reality is, you called it, man. It's a very thankless job. I mean, how many, definitely just what people not really even fully understanding how this thing works, to begin with. Like, even just educating on people on how any of this works is an uphill battle, let alone trying to get credit for X, Y, and Z. So big shout out to the senators. And yeah, we're with them.
Our chat chimers in a chat chiming fashion is coming on in talking, telling us about who that is. We got a question for something, boy. We get the answers right away around here. Marianne Williams says Bob Kerry was governor and U.S. senator. Kimmer Snipes says
Thought
Kerry
so.
was cool with me. I was just asking. Gwen Easter said Kerry was a senator. Also, Vaughn Chapman. Bob Kerry is emblematic of the problems in the Democratic Party. I'd like to hear more about
Hmm.
that. Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Mama God said I really remember Bob Kerry as a Nebraska senator. Also, Josh Tate said former Democratic governor and congressman. Okay. Mama God
Yeah.
said former governor of Nebraska. Okay, so you guys, thanks for the insight on that. I remember the name. I don't think I was around in that era, or I wasn't aware of things in that era quite yet. So I remember the name, but yeah, that's interesting that that's happening. The more we learn about these things, the more we are seeing the politics and understanding the politics around here. It's pretty interesting. We went the first few years they were calling us the most left radio in Omaha, and
Man.
really trying to associate us with the Democratic Party, even though we weren't part of it. But both you and I are pretty much independent. Um,
Yeah.
you know, so it's like but we were having a lot of folks on, and people thought we were that because we had a lot of Democrats on all the time and stuff like that. We put out the word especially when we was mind and soul. We put out the word for Republicans to come in. A few of them did. Y'all know Bacon be around all the time,
Yeah. I was gonna say.
all the time.
We had the Don on a couple
Yeah, we
times.
even had Ricketts on once.
Yep.
When Michael Scott was hosting. So, yeah, we put the call out there when it's time to talk to folks and stuff like that. But as you know, this show has morphed into more of a family getting together, having like-minded conversations, and being able to embolden each other with the language that we need to go out for the fight. That definitely has turned this show into something else. And so it's not so much the let's make a battle happen between a Democrat and a Republican or anything like that. It's more of a discussion of what it is that we are feeling and thinking about the news, about the stuff that's going on around us. So that's what it is. But I still love getting insights from anybody from any of the parties that we got to deal with, because we still got to deal with them even if we are independent. So
Yeah.
it's been good to have Precious on to hear what's going on inside the party as well. So we'll definitely ask her about this gala coming up and the politics behind it. And I'm gonna keep asking everybody that comes on, how are the senators being recognized here? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm looking at the website for this gala as well. State that that is kind of to answer your question earlier. That is the point of this event. It says that each year the Nebraska Democratic Party celebrates elected officials, candidates, party leaders, and grassroots volunteers that build our party. So um, you would think that the senators would get some kind of recognition for the work that they've been doing at this event. Um, but I'm also curious about Black Republicans. It's something we talked about a lot of times here on the show as far as people moving to the Republican Party. I am curious, although as you said, we've kind of been put in that box. I'm still curious to hear that side of the spectrum, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I am too. I am too. Like I said, I just got wind of that about 6 months ago, 6, 7 months ago. I just got wind that there was a lot of folks kind of on the low, in the black community voting Republican, and so I don't know if we can find someone that ain't on the low, we can talk to. Definitely would like to do that. And maybe we can it's never you don't ever get attacked on this show, so everybody
Hmm.
should feel safe to come on here and talk about what they need to talk about. But yeah, I'd like to hear about that too for sure. Malik Rogers in the chat said independents seem to be the ones leading conversations and movements in Nebraska. A lot. I talked to a former Democrat who left the party because of inner politics.
Huh.
We all know that. We all heard about Megan Hunt leaving. I think she became independent as well,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I believe so.
Senator Megan Hunt that was in the news a while back there that she kind of decided she was leaving, and you hear about that kind of stuff all the time. Kimber Snipes says all my uncles are Republicans. Been hearing about this,
Mm.
especially older black men. There's something going on where there's a lot of older black men that's low key voting for Trump, and she says, but they live in the South. Well, Nebraska's Mississippi is the Midwest.
Yeah. Yeah. It was this area that kind of the Kansas Nebraska Act.
Yeah,
That was the rift.
yeah.
Mm.
What's your thoughts on that, buddy? What do you think um, about the just the whole two-party system, the reason why you're independent, you know.
Um, I think it's broken. I think there are a lot of people who believe that party politics works still.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so I don't know. I don't know. I think that there there does need to be at least a new party. I don't think the two party system works, in my opinion. I just think this, as most people say, it's the two birds or the two wings of one bird, two sides of
Mhm.
one coin.
Yeah,
Um, we kind of get caught up in the extremism. There's no real balance in the middle. There's no real middle ground. You end up with the lesser two evils.
right.
That's kind of what this breeds. We talked about in the past Bob Johnson, I believe,
Mhm.
former CEO of BET.
Yep.
He said that he's called for African Americans to create their own party. Um, yeah, I think no party is going to work unless they actually stand on what they say they stand on, which I think is what a lot of people um, like about the Republican Party. As far as when
Mhm.
we talk about older black men, particularly in the South, um, voting and being a part of the Republican Party, it usually comes down to dollars and cents. Let's just call it what it is. Um, a lot of the Republican platform is about economics and not overspending,
Right.
um, which appeals to a lot of Southern black folk.
Yeah.
Um, so and we all really always talk about the issues with the Democratic platform, as far as it just not being on tone, kind of missing the mark. A
Mm.
lot of programs, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are growing um, skeptical.
Mhm.
Like I'm hearing more and more that you can't kind of program your way out of poverty, if you will.
Ooh, that's a good phrase.
Yeah,
Kimmer's reminding us that, just because they're Republican doesn't mean they support Trump. Republican Party definitely has
a rift.
some divide going on, big time rift. Yeah, yeah, that's really interesting. Marianne Williams says, but the Republican Party overspends all the time, just on different things. Yeah, tell the truth. What does anybody think in the chat? Let me see here. I'm trying to pull up some things. What do people think in the chat, how far the independent party can go right now? And in this two party system that we have, is the independent party making any headroom, any progress? We know that started running for president, underneath a different party. Uh, it was some, I gotta think of it, but
Yeah, I
I
missed that announcement.
yeah, it was, Dr. Cornel West. Dr. Cornel
What?
West.
Oh
Yeah, Dr.
yeah,
West. Yeah, he's running for,
we talked
president,
about
and
that.
yeah, and it was under one party. I think he changed to a different party, but it wasn't neither one of them was Democrat or Republican.
Was it the People's Party?
I think it was the People's Party, yes.
We talked about
Um,
that.
yeah, let me see. I'm looking right now to see where he's still running for 2024. I'm trying to see who he's running under, what party he's running under. Okay,
Yeah, I want to
it's
say it
not
was the
it's not
People.
it's not very. Yeah, I think he started with the People's Party and then moved to a different party, a different alternative party like that. I'm not
Mm.
really sure. And I'm looking at his site right now. I'm not really seeing right off the bat like who he says. Oh, he's running. He says I'm running for truth and justice as the candidate for president of the United States in the Green Party.
The Green
So he
Party.
he moved from the People's Party to the Green Party. That's what it was.
Mm.
So yeah, so people like Brother West makes a move like that, what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? Like everything is so heavily Democrat and Republican. Can anybody from a People's Party or a Green Party win? If not, then it's just use of the platform. You know what I'm saying? Like what is your guys' take on that? I'm not sure
Well,
what's going on.
to that point, and Precious actually is the one who kind of clarified this for me as far as like what do the parties do.
Hmm.
And I think the biggest issue with the party outside of the Republican or Democratic, parties actually having gain or having gaining headway is resources.
Hmm.
Resources. How do you pool resources and where do you allocate resources? Who dictates that? Who makes that decision? How do you direct funds? Yeah,
Yep.
how do it's kind of hard to pull everybody under an independent umbrella because you're independent. It's a bunch of independent varying views, and there can be people from both the extreme left and the extreme right who identify as independent. So what does that mean for the platform?
Yeah.
Where's the clarity, or where's the direction in that?
Yep. I can see that. Also, Malik Rogers in the chat says Nebraska Democrat platform seems to be very high schoolish. Okay,
Hmm.
too much talking about Republicans personally and national accomplishments. No local messaging other than fundraising. Okay, Kimber Snipes says I had a Republican reach out to me a couple of weeks ago, talking about some of the shenanigans in the party. Yeah, they definitely got a divide going on there.
Uh-huh.
Vaughn Chapman in the chat says the problem with Democrats versus Republicans in Nebraska could lose both Democrat senators to black Republican running for Nebraska Senate seats. Yeah, we can definitely I can see that happening. That's always a fear that's happening. So yeah, like I said, I kind of want to, like you said, Precious told us what was up, and said that it's all about really like funneling those resources for the different parties, but still they know that those resources aren't going to get funded away from Republican or Democrat parties for these other parties. So they just on the real early stages of trying to build up these smaller parties, or are they using it knowing they're going to lose and just using it for a platform? I'm not really sure like what the effect of somebody joining, for instance, the Green Party. I think we lose Buddy again. I think the Independent Party probably is the biggest one out of all the alternative parties. But how close are we to having anybody that would ever be elected from there? So it's a good question. Christian Nora in the chat. Good morning. Says Senators McKinney and Wayne worked hard. Let me mute you real quick. Senators McKinney and Wayne worked hard for that money to come to North and South Omaha, and you have Vargas trying to take credit. But Tony Vargas
Mm,
was definitely part of that. He was definitely part of that team that helped bring that money in. He definitely was representing Southside and wanted to bring some money into his community as well, and which he was successful at doing. But yeah, the brothers McKinney and Wayne were part of a team of a few senators, Vargas being one of them, that helped bring that in.
mhm.
So I haven't seen him try to take all the credit, but I definitely think that all the senators who were a part of this thing needs to be recognized. I know that.
Yeah.
We know firsthand that brothers Senator Wayne and McKinney have been almost villainized for all the work for the stuff they've been doing.
Yeah.
So we've been trying to do our best over here at First Sky Omaha to help people understand that they as at one point it's out of their hands. They're not the ones that are doling out this money like people are acting like. Malik Rogers says black voters are no longer appreciated by the party. Now it's expectation to be Democrat to retain black card.
Mm,
Yeah, see that?
mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see
Yeah.
that. Take a
Kind of.
Yep,
Can you hear me?
yeah, lagging a bit, but yep.
Okay. Um. Well. Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Try to keep it short, but that just makes me think of the senators. Some of this, I believe, like Megan Hunt. Definitely still shout out to her. But there were some comments like, kind of along the lines like, if you don't, I'm trying to fight for your people. I'm trying to fight for y'all. And kind of sentiments like, if you not voting Democrat, then you kind of going against your own people, and you not black, and like they really try to question you if you don't vote Democrat, which is quite interesting.
Wow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We can't forget about that little situation that happened there, for sure. Yeah. Kimmer Snipes in the chat says if part of it means jumping in at the last minute, that was Wayne and McKinney. Hmm, okay. Not sure what you mean by that quite. Let me know. Marlon Harrison said, I know, first of all, Malik Rogers' black vote. Oh, we already talked about that. Marlon Harrison said, I know the biggest problem is ageism on both sides. I
Hmm.
know people on both sides who want the younger generation to start taking over in politics and the people over the age of 115. Yeah, we never really talk about that part of it. The age differences between we've read that a whole lot of young folks are coming up independent just automatically. They're not taking leaning to sides, and it's really the older ones still fighting over the sides in a big way. And of course, they're all trying to recruit and get people to take over the parties. So that's the thing too. Marianne Williams says, I'm an independent, but the party has everything from conservatives to far left. I don't see them agreeing on anything. Wondered about that. Definitely wondered about that. As a matter of fact, there was a picture that was floating around here. Brother Sherman Wells and those guys went to a Republican event as Bacon's guest. I think that he said that they were under Don Bacon's guest, and we were like, "Ooh, they might get it for this." But they said he said it right there on the thing. He's like, "I'm an independent, so you can do these types of things. You can kind of shake hands with everybody." Is what his sentiment was. And I
Hmm.
was like, "Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Go around and see what everybody up to then, if you feel like you're an independent." But I think a lot of times, especially in the Midwest, especially in Nebraska, being an independent, usually I don't know, man, because it's like when Marianne Williams says, it's like some of them are very left, some of them are very far right. Um, I my independent status is I'm not really sure where it's at. I mean, it's definitely left leaning. If I had to pick a side,
But that's
which
that's
I
the thing.
feel like independence, I don't want to pick a side. You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing, as you're saying, your independence, like it's individual, it's
Yeah.
individualized. So, kind of to Marianne's point, how do you rally that base? Like, where do you get people to agree? Okay, this is what we're all going to agree to direct our energy towards and support. What is that thing? What does that process even look like in an independent, party?
Yeah. I didn't dig into it too deep, but I started looking at when Brother Cornel West was running under the People's Party. I started looking at the People's Party and realizing a lot of there was some things that was very similar to what I think about from the People's Party more than what the Independent Party is now looking like. So
Yeah, I
that might
mean,
be a thing.
is there even an independent party platform?
It's a good question. I think there is. I think there is, but that's kind of my point. Like I jumped out and said independent because just for the sheer fact that I didn't want to be associated with either party at a certain
Hmm.
point,
Hmm.
without really looking into what the independent platform is. And when I started looking at platforms, I definitely lean more towards the People's Party so far because I've just started reading about that.
Right.
So I mean, it's kind of crazy. Kimmer said you said Vargas was part of it getting the funding. That was my response. Oh, okay, you came in late with it. Um,
Mm.
yeah, maybe. Also, Malik Rogers says, look at the difference in support for previous Black Democrat candidates compared to non-Black problems not being addressed, and voters see all of it.
Huh.
Hmm. Also, and you rarely see more than one Black elected in the same photo. Interesting. Von Chapman says Black priorities have never been recognized in Nebraska, especially in North Omaha. This is exactly why 531, 1024 monies are slow in coming. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Malik Rogers says my independent status is based on whomever has the best proposed plan. I mean, that's kind of how I jumped out thinking about it at first as well. But does the independent party have a platform? What's their platform? What are they standing on? I know a lot of people say they're independent that look like Republicans to me too. So
Mm.
I don't know. Sean McCarthy in the chat, good morning, says to win in Nebraska, an independent party will have to peel away more Republican voters than Democrat. So that would be interesting to see what type of coalition that would look like. Okay. Marianne Williams says, I'm an independent, but not part of the party. I'm independent of any party at the moment. That's well said. That's where I stand.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what I mean. Independent of all parties, not of the independent party. Makes sense. Right
Okay.
on.
Yeah. 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 It
Thanks
took
for
us a
thanks,
second.
thanks for oh yeah, yeah. Thanks for joining us. 7:53 right now in Omaha, Nebraska. If you're just joining us, this is the fresh edition, Friday edition of First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Okay, all right. The lag's a little better right now. Sounds good. As you can see, Buddy is live from the Culture House. If you wonder where he's at, live from the Culture House right now, he's in town. And shout out to Marcia's for opening the doors of the Culture House for us to have a discussion, to get together and continue the show. And we apologize for the technical difficulties that we've had this morning so far. But appreciate everybody who stayed with us and is chiming into the chat. We have special guest Precious McKesson coming through. I haven't heard from her quite yet, so I hope that that's still happening. We'll try to maybe send her a text out on the break and make sure everything's okay, and we'll see what's going on. But appreciate everybody who's joining into this. We do have a few things that we kind of wanted to get into, buddy. I don't know if you were able to take a look at some of that the stuff that's on Monday, and if anything caught your fancy, anything that you felt like we need to be speaking up on, or anything in the past. It was kind of a little bit of a Friday recap. Some of
Mm-hmm.
the things that we did not touch on that we wanted to on Friday. So while you take a look at that, I'll read the rest of the comments here.
Yep.
Pops in the chat says, "I think each individual is their own political party who just joined a group, which explains the vast differences within each party." Yeah, I agree with that for sure. Von Chapman says the Independent Party will still be forced to vote for the best of two evils. That's the other portion of that too. That's right. I mean, when it comes down to it, even if you're independent, you still got to you're independent from a party, and then you still got to vote for who's running, which is in the two party system.
Right. Right. That
T.
part.
Ren says independents are politically performative. Interesting. Why do you
Mm.
think that? Why do you think that?
I was
Let
kind
us
of
know.
thinking of that, trying to think of the what that the Dino, I think, is what the term that came up during the last election cycle. Democrat in name only. So I'm thinking of like an Eno, like a independent in name only.
Mm.
I do wonder how many people you say they're independent, but when you look at their actual political movements, will that align them in a different way? But I wonder what type of performative, things that whoever said that. I'm not sure which chat chimey said that.
T Ren said that.
Yeah,
Appreciate you.
what performative things are you seeing, or what seems performative to you?
When as soon as that comment hit, I thought about Senator Megan Hunt changing midstream there in her political affiliation. She was always really kind of not with, yeah. I mean, we she's been very outspoken about what she's not about.
Hmm.
A lot of Republican issues she's not about. And I never see her really talk too much about what she's not about when it came to the Democratic issues at all. So it was kind of a little bit of a surprise when when that news came out that she was switching.
Yeah.
Uh, and it may have been a statement. Like I want to necessarily call it performative, but it may have been it may have been a tactic
Mm.
to reach more folks. I mean,
Would
not sure.
you would you liken that move to what we saw from Don Klein?
Nah, Don Klein was a Republican. I feel like he was a Republican way before he was. I felt like he was somebody who was trying to infiltrate the Democratic Party all the time before,
Mm.
and still got vilified so bad that he was like, "Well, forget it. I'll just go ahead and be a Republican and be with the people that had my back already." So I don't know if that was the same situation, but
Okay.
he didn't become an independent. He went from Democrat to Republican.
Fully crossed the aisle.
Fully leaped the bound of the aisle. Kimber Snipe says, "This last month, I've really been giving a lot of thought to switching parties myself."
Hmm.
Tell, we'll have
So
you on so you
Republican?
can tell us more about that. I will say I doubt that, but Buddy's asking to Republican. Let us know what's your thoughts behind switching and where you think you're going.
Right.
T. Ren says because at their exact D of the day, they will vote for Democrat or GOP. Talking
Mm.
about independence being politically performative. Yeah.
Right. Right.
At the end of the day, I mean, like you'll have to vote for who's running, and it's
Right.
never going. It's and because like they may say there's an independent on the ballot as well as a Democrat as well as a Republican. The independent's not going to win, so you're going to try to figure out the best of the other two and end up doing that. Independents vote Republican more often than Democrats, so I wish they would just be honest.
Yeah.
All right, T. Ran, I hear you.
Yeah. I would say one thing, and this is kind of the pivot to the story. Regardless of who's in office, somebody's gonna have to hold them accountable, regardless if they're Democrat, Republican, or Independent. Somebody's gonna have to pay attention to what they're doing and make sure that they're doing it right and hold them accountable, which is definitely what we're trying to do.
Yeah,
So I want to actually pivot into what Pillen is doing and trying to hold him accountable, because
yeah.
regardless of you're Republican, Democratic, or Independent, you should be aware of what's going on with the governor.
Mhm.
And I mentioned earlier, I went to the Flatwater event last night, spoke to Matt Wynn a little bit about the story that they just released on Governor Pillen, and again, the nitrates that were found in his farm's water. And now he recently appointed a new state treasurer. So, again, I'm not really making a connection, but we should be aware of what's going on
Yeah,
and just the moves that the governor is making. So again, the latest move is the appointment of State Treasurer Tom Briese, who was a former state senator of Albion during his 2 terms in the legislature. Briese was a law school graduate, has advocated for shifting more education funding, which is something that Governor Pillen has definitely been advocating for recently, from local property taxes onto state income and sales taxes. He is term limited from running again, which is now kind of leading to the change in job from state senator to state appointed treasurer. Briese is currently the chairman of the legislature's executive board. And he also told Nebraska Examiner he applied for the $85,000 a year job because he hoped to continue serving the public. So, again, I'm not really alleging any unsavory things as far as this. I'm not really too sure the nature of this. appointment or really the nature of the relationship between Pillen and Briese. But again, something to really look out for and pay attention to when seats are being changed, roles are being changed, appointments are being made, and again, what the governor is doing.
Yeah, most definitely. Megan Hunt, Senator Megan Hunt, who we were just talking about, put a post out and it was shared on Friends of First Sky Omaha, and it has some significance to this article. That's 8 of 49 state senators who entered the Nebraska legislature as appointees. That's
Hmm.
16% of the body appointed, not elected, counting Breeze's coming successor. This is already Pillen's third appointment. When senators resign, Nebraskans are not represented by the people they choose.
So
They
could
chose.
be a game of musical chairs being played, a little three-card Monty, if you will, with these
Mm,
appointments. Could it be a That's a good point. Could it be a game or a ploy to get who you want in the legislature? So again, I'm not alleging anything at this point, but definitely things to look out for and how these plays and moves can play out, especially when the session gets back in order, when it gears back up. Pay attention to how these appointees vote and how these chess pieces are being moved on the board, if you will.
yeah. Jumping in the chat real quick, Tabika Johnson said, Pillen hooking up all his homies. Also, Malik Rogers. Marion Williams says, I think Senator Hunt left because of Democratic support for the centrist Dems who vote against raising the minimum wage and for criminalizing abortion.
Hmm.
We had her scheduled to come on, and it got messed up. The schedule got messed up, so we should probably ask again. We still have a lot of questions about what happened that last session, and she's always willing to come on. So we'll reach out to Senator Hunt please remember these questions that we can ask her when she comes on. We'll figure that out. Kimra Snipes says, from Pew Research about independence, among the public overall, 17% are Democratic leaning independents, while 13% lean towards the Republican Party. Well, where's the other?
Got it.
Where's the other 70% lean? I love to hear that. uh, let's see.
Math ain't mathing.
Marion Williams is talking to T. Wren. The Democratic Party was the conservative party during Jim Crow, so things have changed. Also, T. Wren says if they are from the left, they are not truly vested in a liberal to left ideology. There's no way looking at the state of the Dem Party trying to fend off cancerous. Uh, 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 got that a Dem would go indie. Okay. Uh, I'm
Hmm.
yeah, we're trying to do. I hope I translated that right. I think I get your point though.
Mm,
It says the conservatives in the Dem Party moved to the GOP.
mm.
We're not conflating today to now. We're not conflating today now, are we? I'm not sure. I mean, this we got to know that we got to see the stats on all this stuff, of course. But it does seem like when I think about the different parties, and I think about the Democratic Party. I know that there's a party that's even more left than them. I think about when Bernie Sanders ran, and the difference between uh, Democrats that I felt were kind of more centrist, kind of more in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
and and then people that were even more left in the left, and then of course, yeah, there's always if you're claiming you're independent, and then you jump to the grand old party, and then you was always kind of leaning that way in the first place, so
Yeah.
that's what it is. It looks like Precious was running a little late. I think she still might be on. So stay tuned for Precious McKesson. We're now in the second hour of First Sky Omaha in the morning. We appreciate
In the
you guys.
morning.
Oh yeah, my bad. We appreciate you guys joining us today on this Haps Friday, and also dealing with us with our technical difficulties this morning too. As you can see, Buddi3 Da Gawd is in town live from the Culture House.
Man.
So yeah, I appreciate Culture House opening their doors to us as well. Didn't think we would get this deep into some conversations about Democrats and Republicans and independents, but it's on everybody's mind about voting season coming up. Trump's running. He's still the front runner in in, in the party.
Man,
So yeah, I mean, it is
actually,
what it is.
I just saw a report. Actually, it was on social media, but it was a clip of a report kind of talking about how and I think some people in the show in the chat called this about how Trump's mugshot has apparently helped. People are kind of trying to compare him to Tupac and Martin Luther
Bro,
King Jr. and all kind of like he's a rebel now. Is that?
they reaching so hard for that. They reaching so hard for that.
Are you hearing the same thing? Am
I
I
heard it. Yeah. No, no. I'm what I'm hearing is the rhetoric about it. I'm hearing
right?
them
Right? Right.
trying to act like that's what people are thinking. Ain't nobody thinking that. Nobody's
Mm,
thinking that. They're trying to build that one out. They're trying to make it be what it is.
So
Yeah.
that's a kind of media narrative thing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, man, that's a hot mess. But anyway, yeah. So we seeing this kind of stuff happening all day, every day. So these parties and stuff are on our minds.
Oh yeah.
The election coming up is on our minds. So, we'll definitely see.
Mm.
Marianne Williams says T. Ren is painting all independents with a broad brush. Okay, well T. Ren's in the chat, so tell T. Ren that. You guys have a conversation there. She says, yes, I'm farther left than the Democratic Party. Yeah, most
Okay.
def. Von Chapman says, I was shocked to see the Miss Blackburn, a Trumper, come out from behind the curtain to throw her hat as a Republican in the ring for Omaha City Council person for Vinnie Palermo's seat.
Hmm.
There's a couple Republicans that were running. They were trying to get their hands on their seat. Looks like that's what's going to end up happening. Also, Kimmer Snipe says not all independents lean left or right. Hence that number. Some don't lean. So if they're not leaning left or right, what is the independent platform? What is them 70% representing? Not quite sure, and I definitely need to know now. Also, T. Ren says Bernie ran under Democratic banner. He wasn't going to get anywhere running as an independent, and he knew
Mm-hmm.
this. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Great example. Great
Yeah.
example of what we're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the resources, man. Like we've talked about it when there was that Omaha World Herald article about Jean Stothard and all the hundreds of thousands of dollars she had, and how that was basically a foregone conclusion of her winning. And looking at the connection between like finances and politics, like it's a real thing. It's definitely unfortunate, but I mean that's kind of why you see billionaires and CEOs and all these people coming from the business world jumping into politics.
Yeah.
It costs money to run these campaigns and time that a lot of the average people just don't have.
Very true. Very true. Uh, Malik Rogers in the chat says just looked at voter registration numbers for Nebraska and North Omaha, and numbers are dwindling for Nebraska Democratic Party.
Hmm.
Okay. Could you give us a link to where those numbers are that you're looking at? Love to look at
Yeah.
that myself. Brother Knight in the chat says Trump been a thug. Hell, his daddy was a pimp, pseudo pimp that is. Yeah. Telling it like it is, tell it like it is.
Yeah.
Uh Kimber Snipes says Terry Blackburn sure showed up at my alliance meeting. Really? It's interesting who shows up to neighborhood meetings and stuff like that.
Hmm.
She says I thought she was there as a representative of the mayor's office. What did she end up being there for? Did she contribute at all? What was the deal? Malik Rogers says, what do y'all think on new Democrat added to the city council? Been in game long time and never heard of him.
Name?
Yeah. Not familiar. Yeah, what's the name? Kimber says, I encourage you all to read the article I posted about independence. That might answer some of your questions. Where did you post that at?
Is it friends up?
Yeah, let us know where you posted that. We definitely want to check that out for sure. Okay, I'm trying to. I got a little technical thing going on in the background here to hook up. Precious coming on, so bear with us. Looks like we will have her here shortly. Von Chapman says Warren Buffett is said to be a Democrat. A Democrat
Hmm.
said to be a
Hmm.
Democrat. Interesting. Kimmer Snipes says Ron Hug is quite lazy. Who is Ron Hug? That's interesting.
Ron Hug.
Said he currently sit on the Metropolitan Community College Board and has never been to an alliance meeting. Oh, she calling people out. Ron Hubbard's
Man,
name. These are my opinions. There you go. Okay.
not familiar with the Ron Hug.
Yeah, me neither. All opinions are my own. There you go.
There you go.
With the disclaimer. Okay, lost Buddy again. Boy, we have some issues today. I tell you what, let's go to a quick break. We'll come back. We haven't taken a break yet. It's 8:10 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, you're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning. In the morning. Paul B. Nobody the guy right now, but he'll be back. He's over here in town. Shout out to Culture House that's letting us broadcast live from there. That's really what's going on. And yeah, we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Once again, a fresh edition of First Sky Omaha in the morning. This is the Friday Haps edition. Get your haps ready. We will be talking about that soon. And stay tuned for Precious McKesson. She will be right back. We'll be right back too. Stay tuned. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio in the morning. In the morning, Paul B. Buddy, the God is trying to get his technical difficulties handled here. So he'll be back in just a second. But ladies and gentlemen, we do have waiting in the wings, Miss Precious McKesson. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm
Thought you
good.
weren't
How are
gonna make
y'all?
it this. Thought you weren't gonna make it this morning.
Look, I've actually been, and it's crazy because I've actually been up since 6 a.m. well 5:30
Oh
a.m.
wow.
and been working on some scripts and stuff and some work and literally scheduled some meetings. I was like, oh, I can do it. I can jump on the call at 8:30. I got no time to jump in here, do this, and then I could be on yeah, I got a lot. I got a busy morning. So yes.
Okay.
Sorry about
Well, that's par for the course for you. You stay busy, so so we really appreciate you taking the time to come on the show. We've been looking to catch up with you. We haven't talked to you in a while. So first of all, we just want to see how you doing, and
I'm doing
how you living these days. What's going on?
I'm doing good. I mean, just chilling, just chilling, keep staying out of trouble, minding my business, drinking my water,
Yeah,
getting getting healthy. That's all I can say.
that's what's up.
Minding, I'm sorry, y'all got to get my ring light together. But basically, I'm minding the business that pays me.
Okay,
That's what I've been doing.
you got some. You said minding the business that pays you. I like that.
Yep.
Well, are you well? You listen to a radio? Or something? I hear radio something in the background. You got something playing? You got
There we go.
your vibe music happening. I see. Okay,
Sorry
that's
about that.
okay. I think it's gonna be my new motto: minding the business that pays me. I like that.
Yep, minding the
That's,
business that pays me.
that's what's up. You have a big dinner or a big gala coming on pretty soon here, right? Is
Yeah, September 29th. We have our annual the Nelson Gala. We call it now. We're gonna start calling it the Beeee. It's
okay.
named after Governor Senator Ben Nelson, and it's at the Capital District Marriott. And we will have Governor Tim Walz from Minnesota. And if you've not following Minnesota, Minnesota has literally is one of the most progressive states in the United States, like very progressive, very blue. And he'll be here, as well as I'm really honored for this person, Representative Justin J. Pearson, from
Ah,
Tennessee. He's a part of the Tennessee Three.
yeah.
Um, and he will be here. And so I'm really excited that he'll be here on the 29th. Also, giving a keynote address. And then the next day, we'll be doing some stuff with Preston for the Black Summit. And Justin will make an appearance there. Really to because this will be the third summit that Preston has held as we go into 2024. So doing some nonprofit work on that side. So you take off your other hat and go to the other side. So I'm really excited for that. And on the 29th, I need to mention this because I have to mention this. We've always talked about we've always talked about the what am I trying to say? We've always talked about our young DMs, getting our young people involved, and we will have a after party
Mhm.
after the Nelson Gala. We'll have a party with DJ Mr. Soul. He'll be the DJ,
Mm.
and basically it's really at the Capitol District. Will be down in the gallery in the VIP across from Let It Fly,
Mhm.
and just really getting some people in there. So yeah, Kimra, whatever. Kimra
Yeah.
told me to stop in the
Uh-huh.
chat.
You know it was
She saw
coming
me.
from me.
Yeah, but yeah, so yeah, it's gonna be real tight. It's gonna be real tight. We're real excited and just looking forward to it.
Yeah. I'm looking at the theme, for the Ben Nelson Gala. You got some details there. You talked about, congratulations and award winners and stuff like that. Um, I could I'm looking at what's going on here, and I'm like, I wanna know about what we were talking about earlier on the show was when I was looking at this, I was wondering if, the brother senators was gonna be there, Terrell McKinney, Justin Wayne. I feel like they did a huge thing this year. I mean, they are Democrats, correct?
Yeah,
I mean, okay,
they
okay.
are.
So sometimes I gotta ask again because I don't be knowing. I feel like people, I feel like people are everywhere. We just went through this whole like what are independents discussion, but so yeah, I'm looking here and I'm just wondering if they're gonna be mentioned if something's like what there's a huge thing that just happened here with bringing all that money into North and South Omaha.
Mhm.
Vargas, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on with that? Is that plan on being mentioned here? Is this gala at all? Are we representing North Omaha a little bit on this? Uh-oh. Is she
Just
stuck
break
now?
this down very Let me just let me. Am
Okay,
I
there you
here?
yeah, you there. Yep.
Let me break this down real quick because I think that people sometimes get a little misconstrued of what's going on, and sometimes it's hard when you choose awards, when you choose who to honor. And it's not saying that we're not recognizing the work that Senator Wayne and Senator McKinney has done because we respect them wholeheartedly. But we also look at what has happened and what is going on. And so everybody will be represented. North Omaha will very much so be represented at this gala.
Right.
Anytime that I do anything, as long as I've been the executive director, North Omaha has been represented. Every
Yeah.
community is represented. We'll have a mariachi band. We'll have the Destruction Drill Team will be there, their drum line. We have Black vendors. Everybody that we're using is a person of color. Not to say that we're not recognizing the historic amount that came in, but we also got to look at the other part where we had women's rights that were taken. We had trans rights. We had LGBT. Like we have a lot that happened this year, and so it's hard. And so again, I'm not saying that we don't honor it. If anybody, no one's seen our newspaper, real quick, I'll go grab it in just a second. I did a whole article. We did an article, a newspaper for 42,000 copies that are going across the states that
What?
mentions all the historic stuff that happened this year.
How did I
So I
not
just
see that?
it just came out.
Oh, okay, okay.
It just came out. It hadn't even hit the doors yet. I mean, it just came out. I just got the box in the mail.
Yeah.
We just, but we do have an online version. If you go on our website, Paul,
Uh-huh.
and go and it says it'll say Democrats deliver. Click on it, and then it'll say read online edition. You can grab that online edition, put that link in there. So that's something that we're doing. And so Yeah, so I mean, so just know they will be mentioned. It's not that we're not. I just want that to be very clear. We have Democrats across this state, and it's hard to choose. And I think because some people think, oh, well, because you're a black executive director, that you should have been the first. No, that's not how it rolls. We have a committee that comes together, and how do we select? And also, I just want to mention, we always try not to not saying that. And if you click on the read online, we try not to say that, not saying that McKinney, but Senator Wayne has received an award in the last 5 years. Actually, he received an award in 2020 that was along with me, Kimra, Jasmine Harris, after James Scurlock. We all received the Chair's Award that year. So I just want to make sure it's very clear that when we're doing this, we look at all aspects and no one is being left out. It's not intentional. So I just want that to be very much so known.
Yeah, and I wasn't implying that you were leaving anybody out. I'm just looking at what's happening on the gala, and the agenda on the gala. It was kind of.
Well, that's just the awards. That's not the agenda. That's just the awards. I don't know what the agenda is. That's just the awards.
Oh,
God, y'all don't know what the agenda is. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. I was just looking for names, and that's why I had a question.
Yeah,
about
those are just the awardees. I mean, and all those people who got an award, those people are nominated for those awards. And once they're highlighted, once they are done, then they turn around and then the committee chooses those winners. But once again, I just want to make it known, Justin and Senator, and I'm just going to make very clear, Senator Wayne and Justin are not the only two who we would have to honor on that award. I just want to be very clear on that. You would have to honor Tony Vargas as well as Senator McDonald. I want y'all to really think about that long and hard, and I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. 100 with you. Think if you can read behind the lines, if you can know what I'm read behind the lines on that.
Okay.
Please and thank you.
If they were a part of getting $400 million in the North Omaha, we can't give them some props for that, even if they.
We have been giving props. I don't understand. What do y'all want me to do? What do y'all want me to do? What is everybody asking me to do?
No, I'm not asking you to do anything. I'm not saying. I'm saying I was jumping to this new point now where you were mentioning these other two senators that also would need to be recognized. I'm not even talking about recognizing them at the gala anymore. I'm talking about them just in particular. You're saying like read between the lines on other people we would have to praise, and I'm saying
I'm not saying Vargas. I'm just saying this is Precious. I'm on here as Precious McKesson. Okay, I'm on here as Precious McKesson, not as executive director. And I'm just gonna say I'm not praising McDonald for nothing. He took away the rights that I have as a woman. So at that, there we go. I'm done talking about it. I'm not praising him. I have to work because I am the executive director, but on a personal level, I ain't praising him. I don't want to be in the room with him. I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to do nothing with him. Okay. He took away the rights. If I was raped today, I could not go and have an abortion because of that man and 32 others. So he gets the same energy, the same love as those 32, regardless of what he's done. Put that in y'all chat, send it to whoever, smoke signal it. I don't care. Send it to the Pope. I'm standing on it.
All right. Precious McKesson has spoken. I get you. That's really real. It looks like we got Buddi back. I'm gonna go ahead and bring him into the chat too. Buddi,
look, y'all got me heated up on that one. Like, but
hey, let him know though.
I appreciate everything that Senator Wayne and Terrell has done. And it's not, it's like everybody, it's hard when you're doing all this work. It's like what we sit there and you're going to be talking about you're going to be talking about 200 bills. You know what I mean? So it's not like somebody did it intentionally, but I just feel like sometimes as a Black woman, I get the heat because they think because I'm a Black woman and I'm not representing for our Black people. And that's totally wrong. Totally wrong. So let me tell you, I just tell people all the time, don't come for me if you don't want the truth, because I'm gonna tell the truth.
Yeah, we hear you. Well, you already know that that's not how we was coming at you with my question about whether or not.
But I know, but people are asking. I got a very evil text message last night. Like people, yeah. So just know, yeah, it's very. It's very real, but I understand it. I understand it. I do. And it puts me in a very hard situation. But again, what they did was very historical. And I feel honestly, as I look at it as a community member, I feel like this whole project now, how's it gonna look? I really played the back to this project. I really have sat in the background and just watched because I feel like it's a complete shit show now.
Now that it's in the hands of now that it's in the next level, the next stages.
Yeah, people got to reapply. People got to go through all this. You gave $1.7 million to a consulting firm now for people to go back and have to reapply. So, man, you could have gave me that to read some grants. We read grants all the time. But let me shut up.
No, please don't.
Yeah, we really haven't heard from you much on this. We've been talking to the senators last couple weeks.
I'm gonna say because I gotta shut. I mean, look.
Precious, I can't tell you how much we miss you. Now I know what we've been missing this past month or so.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
It's been too long. It's been too long.
Let's jump to something else real quick so you can cool down a bit. Von Chapman says, would you explain the significance of using Ben Nelson's name in regard to the gala? Is there a reason behind it?
So before it was called the Morrison Exon, and so it was named after two former governors, Jim Exon and I don't know, I know his name was Morrison, but they so that's how it was named after them. And so for so long, no one like knew. Like I mean, I didn't know. People was like, who is Jim Exon and Morrison, and who is these people? Who are these people? So we was like, well, let's update to come to where we're at now, and so. The gala was named, it was called the Carrie Nelson Gala. So it was named after the last two Democrats that we had elected as senators. Now it was Ben Nelson and Bob Kerrey. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, the whole little debacle happened last year. Kerry was like, I want my name on it. So we said, okay, fine. Take your name off it.
Snatch it all off then.
It ain't no problem. So we called Nelson. So that's why it was named after Nelson. And then what we did, we went in because before they had awards named after them. And so then if you look at the awards, we went in and we renamed the awards after people, especially like Preston has an award that used to be the Bob Kerrey Award, and that was given to volunteers in each congressional district. And so since Preston's done so much work in that space, we went ahead and it was, to me, I felt it was an honor to honor someone who is alive and able to give that award out in honor of people who are doing volunteer work throughout the state. And so that's where you get the Preston Love Award. And then the Shemmack County Award, Diane Shemmack was the first, was the woman along with Senator Ernie Chambers and the then Governor Ben Nelson, who was able to get us the Electoral College. That's why we have the Electoral College today, due to Diane Shemmack, Senator Shemmack. And Deb Quirk is named after two. Deb Quirk was the former county chair in Adams County, and she was a former, I think she was the Nebraska chair, and she's out in the rural community. And she passed away earlier this year. The Carrie Howard Award is named after Sarah Howard and Gwen Howard's daughter. Carrie Howard was a young Democrat, and she was a dedicated Democrat, and she passed away due to overdose on opioids. And that's why Sarah Howard has really been very strong in the opioid crisis in Nebraska, passing different laws. Ann Boyle, she was our former commissioner, public commissioner, as well as wife to former Mayor Mike Boyle, but she was also the former chair of the Douglas County. And so that award goes to young people because she really felt that young people need to have a voice. And so that was named after her. Then Mike Fahey, the block captain, that is the one I'll show y'all the newspaper. That's where people go out to knock on doors. He invested in that, and he was actually the main person who really believed in that program and making sure that people could go knock doors. And then the late Brad Ashford, that award that goes to only a state senator. And Frank Lemire, if anybody doesn't know who Frank Lemire is very much so longtime advocate, activist. He passed away a few years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago. But he was he's a Native American, and he was the person who was able to get White Clay shut down. Mm-hmm. And so that Hall of Fame award is in honor of him. And then the party chair award is whoever the state party is at that time, the chair, they give out an award. So everybody, we made sure, again, we're very intentional with these awards. So yeah, that's the award. So that's why I was named after Ben Nelson, the Nelson Gala. because he was the last high ranking official that we had.
There you go. Well, I appreciate you breaking that down. Understand a little bit more. This is open. This is open to the public, right? This gala
Yeah,
is just
anybody
open
can
to the
buy
public.
tickets. I know some people are like, well, the tickets is high, but if anybody is interested in going and would like to have a discounted ticket to come and join us, you can definitely email me at precious@nebraskademocrats.org, and we definitely can help you out.
Yeah, that'll work. Buddy, you got any questions for Precious? I'm gonna jump into the chat while you get that together real quick, and before we let her go,
Hmm.
jump into some things. Real quick, Von Chapman says, with all the attention given to voter registration, why is the Democratic voter apathy still a problem? I'd love to hear your opinion on that. Also, Rick Fulton said the Nebraska DED added a spokesperson to handle inquiries about the grant proposal. When you talk about this thing looks crazy. I'll just say that it looks crazy.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
right, Trevor Brooks is too busy to answer emails or phone calls. Rick Fulton is saying, I think he's not answering your phone calls. He's been answering some other people's phone calls, Mr. Fulton. Marianne Williams says Senator McDonald doesn't deserve an award. He deserves to be shown the curb. Okay, Marianne Williams.
Mm.
Also tonight, Wanda Lewis is replying to Rick Fulton. Good morning. Okay, I'm reading it. I'm trying to read down. Brother Knight in the chat said, "Can't recognize two black men without some dilution being involved." Okay, well,
Mm.
we'll see. We'll see what's up. We'll see. We'll see. We'll dig into your opinion a little bit more on that. Miss Erica Felt is in the chat. Good morning. I don't think I said good morning to you yet. She says, "I'm just getting on." Oh, okay, that's why. And tripping to see Precious this mad. I definitely need to catch the replay. Yeah, she was hot. Von Chapman says 531-1024 was intended to be a shit show by the conservative led legislators kicking the can down the road when it comes to black independence is what Republicans do. Okay, there's
Mm.
feeling there. Malik Rogers says, yet people leaving each meeting quiet and humbled. I did notice that myself. I thought that there would be a whole lot more speaking up than there actually is happening. T. Wren says any Democrat can get apathetic when perpetually seeing to so-called Democrats vote for Republicans and their policies. Interesting. Let's go back to the question for Precious before we jump into that, buddy. That question that Von Chapman said. Your opinion on this? With all the attention given to voter registration, why is Democratic voter apathy still a problem?
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I always say this. It's about who's on the ballot. You can go to people's doors and say, "Hey, why aren't you voting? We need you to vote." You can register millions of people, but if they don't actually act on that, then it doesn't matter. And I think the thing is that it has to be who is on that ballot that's giving them energy, who they feel is going to make change, and they have to feel that. And I think the last time we felt that in 08, we felt that with Obama. It was change, it was hope. He gave us a message that we need to do, that he wanted to see done. And I think it normally goes down to who's on the ballot. I always, always, always feel that way, that it's who's on the ballot. And I give this example for my sister. For example, my sister had told me at dinner with a bunch of Democrats in Philadelphia. She had come to visit, and she was like, this was just this year she did this to me. She was like, I didn't vote.
One of the closest people to you.
She lived in DC, Maryland. I said, you didn't vote. What you mean you didn't vote? She was like, every time I watched the news, it was drama. And because she lived in the DMV area, she was getting all the news from DC, Maryland, and Virginia. So that turned her off. And so what she didn't understand, I'm like, but Nikki, you have a black governor you got a black man who's running to be the third black governor, or was he the first? I think he's the third of the in the United States. But because she said she wasn't excited, that's why. And so now I really do see that it does. It's because people are not excited, and you got to have a candidate that people believe in and who really want to get behind strong. And then I tell candidates sometimes your people on the ballot will help other people on the ballot due to them, like, oh, well, they on the ballot, let me get on there, let me help this person out. And that's sometimes what they do. But you can't, but it is, I honestly feel it is because people aren't excited. And again, I say representation matters.
I totally agree with you. I definitely get in there all fired up, and then I'm just like, is it gonna matter which? You know what I'm saying? Like, you get to really feeling some kind of way about it unless you got somebody you really fired up about and you're hearing the right messages. And I think there's a lot of messages out there in the media that does kill the excitement too. All the drama, all the back and forth, all the dirty politics, all the name calling and all the mess. Ain't nobody want to be. Everybody got their stories on their soap operas already. They watch. They don't need to be
Mm-hmm.
joining in
Yep.
on that part. One more question out of the chat here. Marianne Williams is saying, "Does honoring in Indy Senator Hunt at the gala mean more cooperation between Indy and Dems?"
I don't know where everybody's been at, but does anybody realize that the Democrats and the Independents, have always supported each other? Independents can vote on the Democratic ballot. We also have independents who actually are on our slate cards, and we make sure we identify them as independent. We've always had a great relationship with independents. There's never been a distance between us. I mean, you can look at Cindy Maxwell Ostick. She was on our voter guide. We made sure it said independent. We have a lot of independents who are running, and so they get the same resources as the Democrats. As long as we have to get approval from our state central committee. As long as a Democrat doesn't enter that race, if it's an independent, they're going to get the same resources. But if a Democrat enters that race, we can't give them the resources. But we do allow independents to use our voter file. To receive the same resources as long as it's not a Democrat, as long as they're not in a race against a Dem. So independents are very much so welcomed in the state party.
So, what about independents that are absolutely leaning right? They still they could be.
No, we haven't ran across none of those yet. Because normally, if they lean in right, they ain't coming over to us. they ain't asking us.
Well, I don't know. We kind of figured out that the thing about independence is that there's a whole lot that are leaning real left, leaning real right, and they can't really get together either.
They can't, but we vet them. But you do have some independents who feel that the right But the thing is, even if you're an independent and you still can't vote. No one can vote for you because the Republicans won't let you vote on their ballot.
Yeah, that's
on the Democratic ballot.
Right. That's really interesting. But that's the reason why I had the question, because I'm feeling like if you go in there as an independent, you can vote on a Democratic ballot, but you can't vote on a Republican ballot. But if you're a Republican leaning independent,
you're just out there by yourself.
Isn't there some sabotage that might be able to that could happen there when you go in there to vote?
What ballot you voting on though?
Democratic ballot.
You can't even if you leaning right, you can't say, "Can I get a Republican ballot?" They're gonna be like, no, because you can't vote. You're independent. You can't vote on the Republican ballot. Yeah. So you just not voting.
Right.
And again, you said there's a committee that has to vote or vet the independent candidates who are. So, of course, if they're going against the Democratic platform, then they won't make it through that vetting process.
No, we're not. No, you're not. If you against women's rights, you ain't. Just don't even ask. Don't even ask. Go find some other resources, because again, our platform is our platform for a reason. You can. That's like saying you can play with our toys, but then go vote against us. Baby. No. Go over there with them. But you don't get our resources. You don't get our toys, and then turn around and vote against us, and then have us out here like this. But again, there's people out here that have done it. But again, it's up to the people.
Yeah.
To make that decision if they want them people to still be in office.
Right.
But right now, as a person who recruits candidates and who talks to every single candidate that comes through, we're asking those questions. Are you voting against this? Where do you stand on this?
Vetting, getting vetted.
Vet it. Put it out on the table real quick, because then we can make the decision. Do we want to? And I'll be honest with you. There's been a few candidates that we've had a conversation with, and they basically was like, well, morally my rights, and I just feel that I think that women, I believe I'm pro-life, and I just feel like, okay, well, our platform says this. Thank you. But we can't do nothing about people that are already there. Because again, remember, they're there.
Mm-hmm.
It's now up to the people to
Right.
make them choices. Because see, we didn't have these conversations when these people were running. Okay, I just want to make that very clear.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's up to the people to make the decision if they still want to be represented by those people who feel that way. It ain't my choice now, but it's but now I can block. Now you can still run, but you won't receive our resources.
Right. Yeah.
I am kind of curious about that. That kind of is my question. We talk a lot about voter registration and trying to get the voters engaged, but what is the process and how much excitement are you getting from the candidates? Like, are people excited for, even before we get to getting people excited to vote, are the people excited to run? What is that looking like?
It's looking like, and this is again, I say it again, here's the newspaper. So we did, the candidates, but again, I say again, y'all, representation matters. So we have our candidates that are running and they represent their areas. So that's what they're representing the areas that they live in or support. And so the candidates are really excited. They're doing what they need to do. They know that the session is going to be the 2024 elections is very critical because again, it's going to make a lot of change for 2025 when they go back into session in January. And so I think people are understanding that local politics do matter now. Like, people are really understanding the local politics and what happens in local politics. And so again, they're just doing what they need to do. They're like, hey, we out here, we about to knock these doors, we about to really get people engaged. And you have to, and my thing is, again, I say this, you have to talk about the issues that are impacting that community or the people that you're serving. You can't come with the whole national platform of what's going on. You got to talk what's happening in them people's backyards, because that's what's impacting people first.
Yeah, definitely hear that. Earlier in the chat, I saw Malik Rogers. No, who said this? Somebody said that we need to stop voting personalities and vote the issues. Later on in the here it is. Stuart Brother Knight said black people do need to move from voting personalities to voting agendas. A little later on in the chat, somebody said Kimmer Snipes said voting for agenda means you might have to vote for someone who looks like you or doesn't come from your neighborhood, and a lot of folks don't do that. So that and it's hard to take out the personality out of the situation too. Also, Jonathan Lathan in the chat. Good morning. It's been a while since we heard from you.
Hey.
Says so candidates looking to get more active in the party. How much of the platform do candidates have to follow? Also, he says like I own a firearm store and I get into it with people about 2A rights. Representation does matter, and there was also Dems mad at our senators for not voting about LB 77.
Because but that's the thing. I think people this is the problem. I think people don't understand. And Marianne Williams made a good comment. It's not the pro-life thing, because we have a lot of pro-life people who are Democrats but still feel that women have a choice. And that's what you want to hear. Yeah, people have that, but they still feel like every woman needs to have a choice. When we talk about that firearm bill and all that stuff, number one, no one's coming for people's guns. That's what I want that to be very much so clear. The Democrats are not coming for people's guns. We're not saying we agree, we want to take your guns. We need stricter gun laws. And that law was stupid. That was passed. I don't care what no one says. Okay. Because I know a certain situation right now where anybody can carry their gun, but now you still have the court system involved making decisions about people who have the carry and conceal license. So you're telling me if I get my carry and conceal taken, but I can still carry a gun, but you still got again, it's
yeah. I didn't think about that point at all. That's a good point.
But I know this for sure because I'm involved in a case with somebody with that. So you want to take my carry and conceal, but then I could still carry a gun, but I just can't conceal it. But I can.
They got to work that out with the courts now. Lots of stuff coming from that. We actually had a series of articles that we were going to talk about that had to do with what happens now that gun law changed. A lot of people lot of things that had to shift. Then of course, Mayor Stothert was in the newspaper for saying you can't bring that into can't bring it into everybody had to start making some adjustments about stuff now, which is still going on. So lots to talk about. We're gonna have to have you back another time and talk some more because as like we're way now now what we're talking about is like there's next levels and more levels to this that we need to be diving in with you. I should have known that we weren't gonna just be able to have a couple little superficial questions and then not go in. So
Can I say something
Oh
real quick?
yeah.
Can I
please
just say
go.
something real quick? Because there was a comment that was made that said that the rest of Democrats that won't vote shows huge frustration with the Nebraska Democrat platform. First of all, have you read our platform? Because there's not a frustration with the platform. It addresses everything in there. But I mean, again, everybody is entitled to their opinion. But then I really see a lot of people that have so much comments on politics, but then I looked in the room and I don't see nobody there supporting. I don't. And let's call a spade a spade. You can, everybody has opinions on Facebook, social media warriors, but if you're not actually on the ground doing the work, then what part are you playing in this? Are you there to help us, or are you there to keep us divided? Because at this point, I need people to come from behind Facebook, and I need people to get on these doors and get people activated. And we need to. And if you see people that need to run, and you think they're good at running, and it doesn't. You don't have to be a politician to run for office. Like that's not what it's about.
That's what Trump taught us.
Yes. So yes. And I mean, it's a lot, but I just need people to be out here and supporting the candidate that you're behind. Get behind them for real, and support them. That's what we need. We need more of that.
Well, we're in season 6 right now. The theme of this season is Boost to the Roots. That is exactly what we're here to try to do this time around. We've been talking now for 5 seasons, and it's time to get Boost to the Roots, get some action behind this stuff, and actually get down there. We had we started that a little bit last season when couple of, when we had some groups go out and do some things, and also try to send some people up to the legislature to fight for some of these bills or to help oppose them. We got a lot of good response. We got some good starts, and we're trying to build that up even more. So I appreciate that message right there, because that's exactly what we're on right now. And we'll try to keep on figuring out ways and finding ways to get people involved and get more involved ourselves and be down there. But I love it. Hold us accountable. Let us know.
Ooh, I just read a comment, baby.
Go ahead.
Mr. Stewart said, if there must be women's rights, there must be some measures for Black men.
Okay. Well, I mean, what do you think about that opinion?
Woo! If there's to be women, again, like I said, as this Black woman, a Black man can rape me today, and I don't have a right to my own body. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. A Black man can violate me, and I don't have a choice to my body to go do what I need to do.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna jump in the middle of that one. So, I appreciate you. I appreciate you saying what you're saying, and I appreciate you addressing the things that's in the chat. I appreciate everybody in the chat that's putting their stuff out there,
I love
and
y'all.
yeah, yeah. We got a very unique situation going on around here.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. We got a lot to go on, and I promise you, like like I said, I keep telling people, and I ain't shying away from it. After 2024, this has been a lot. This has been a lot. I've learned a lot. I love it. I love what I do. I feel like we got a lot of work to do. We got more to do. We got a lot, but keep doing what y'all do. Kimra, I'm headed to Lincoln in like 2 hours. But yeah, keep doing what y'all do. I just want to let y'all know we got a shred day coming up. Well, not us, but the Urban Financial Group has a shred day coming up on 9/23 at Skinner Magnet School from 10 to 12. Oh, look at y'all. Y'all be having all the stuff. Paul be on it. But make sure y'all support Urban Financial. This is one of my favorite things. Like, I'll be ready for shred day, y'all. I'll be ready. Like, I got a box. I'm ready. I got some stuff. And then on 10/14, on October 14th, Nona will host our fall cleanup. That would be from 9 to 2 in the Skinner parking lot. And then next, and I'll send it over to y'all, Paul, next Thursday. I need to send this over. Next Thursday, Nona will host our first in-person meeting. I've been so slow on this, but I'll send it over to y'all. But we will be hosting it at the Learning Community, the Early Childhood Collaborative Center right there off of 30th next to Howard Kennedy. But we'll be using that. We'll be hosting our first in-person. And it's just really, I just want to just as a little meet and greet. People come in, neighborhoods, like how y'all doing? I know, with Kimra now being over one Omaha, really just want to get back into our neighborhood. See you later, Sophie. Get back into our neighborhood activism and what we've been doing. And so I just want to make sure that, we do that. Whatever.
I want to remind people too. We put that challenge out there this season. We want everybody who is in the chat chimers to join your neighborhood association. If you don't have a neighborhood association in your neighborhood, build one, make one, start one, and we want to try to get everybody involved with that. Of course, we were bringing Precious on as well to advocate for the neighborhoods because that's what it's supposed to be. We're checking in with her on that because she's a very big neighborhood a proponent of the neighborhood associations. And very very much a part of it and has been for a long time. And same thing with Kimra. We bring Kimra Snipes on to talk about that as well. So we still got that challenge out there. Please do that. Let us know when you do. Let us know how those meetings went. And let's start some of that boost to the root stuff with the neighborhood. So appreciate you reminding us about that. And yes, please go ahead and post all your stuff in Friends of First Sky Omaha. And then of course, before you get out of here, we'll reiterate the gala that's coming up here. The Ben Nelson Gala is happening on September 29th, 2023 at Capital District Marriott in Omaha. It is open to the public. You do need to buy tickets to go to it, but it might be a good thing to go check out and hear about what's going on there. And what I'm finding out is really when you get out there, you really running into people who's actually boots to the roots doing something. You can shake some hands and talk to some folks that are really involved in what's moving and shaking in our neighborhood. So appreciate it, and thanks for all your efforts, and thanks for your honesty and passion that when you come on here, and if you came on this show and I didn't get a baby, then I was gonna be mad. So we got one.
And I just want to let y'all know too, I always gotta say my disclaimer. These are my personal opinions and how I feel. This does not reflect who pays me. But if you want to come for my job, go ahead because I am hireable. Okay, baby. I don't remind y'all that I can get a job. Okay.
There you go.
Play with me if you want to, because trust me, they do. And I see the emails.
Appreciate you very much, Precious.
Love y'all. Have a good day. Happy Friday. Drink y'all water. Mind the business that pays you.
There you go.
Mind the business that pays you. I love it.
Peace.
Take care of yourself. All right, there you go. The legendary Precious McKesson. Yeah.
History making P.
History making P. For real, for real. Let's take a quick break, man. We'll come back and jump into the haps. So stay tuned. Again, you're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you chat chimers, ghost listeners, radio listeners, stay tuned. We'll be right back. Once again, technical difficulties, but we're getting through it. We'll be right back. Check it out. Welcome back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Ooh, these technical difficulties going on here. Boy, I'll tell you what, we had quite a show today, but it looks like we're getting through it. And with 5 minutes left in the show, I guess we better go ahead and jump on the haps, ladies and
Hey,
gentlemen. Time for the haps. Time for something
What's
to
the
happen around
haps?
here.
okay.
Yes,
What's happening? What's going down?
yes, it is Friday. We always say we're gonna have an extensive haps, but then we do something foolish like bring on Precious McKesson, who we know we're gonna talk to all the way until the end of the show. But it's all good. We try to save the last few minutes for it. Let us know about your haps, and I really appreciate that. Josh Tegg the other day was talking about a haps that's happening at Jean Leahy Mall, the One Community Cultural Festival. It's free admission over here, and it is on September the 16th, which is tomorrow, from 1 to 9. So definitely check out the Jean Leahy Mall at the Riverfront and go check out the cultural community one community cultural festival, kind of really celebrating, everybody getting together, which is a good thing. So appreciate that. That heads up on that, man. Been brought to you by Omaha Symphony and the Riverfront. I know my family's been going out to the Riverfront talking about how cool it is out there.
Hmm.
I have yet to see it, but I gotta go check it out while the weather's good. But yeah, appreciate you bringing that up, Josh. Thank you very much for that. And of course, we're going to have to jump into what's going on tomorrow morning. Content Creators Camp 2023. We're at week 6 out of a 12-week course. That is tomorrow morning at the Culture House.
Yep.
So those of you that have already signed up, then just know that we're going to be at the Culture House tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Buddy, you going to make an appearance? You going to be there?
Oh yeah, I mean I'm here now. Y'all
He's
gotta
here
meet
now.
me. Y'all gotta meet me. We'll be right here in the culture house, man. So yeah, shout out to Marcy for again always looking out, always helping us do what it is we're trying to do, and shout out to all of you for registering. Come through.
Yeah. Yeah, if you haven't registered yet, go to Friends of First Sky Omaha, and there's a registration link. You can go check it out. Tell a friend, bring a friend. Even though we're at week 6, if you haven't even started yet, doesn't
Come
matter.
through.
Come on through. Yeah, it's individual classes. It'd be great to do the whole 12-week course, but we kind of designed it so that each class is really going to give you some value and tell you some things. And we can't wait to have Chris Baby Boy Bowling in tomorrow to talk a little
Baby
bit.
boy.
Baby Boy in the house, man. It's happening tomorrow at the Content Creators Camp 2023, week 6, Saturday morning at 10 o'clock at the Culture House. Please be there. We would love to see you. So I appreciate that very much. Also, I definitely want to give a shout out again to Brother Kasim and those guys over there at the Black Gender Alliance. Also, Sherman Wells with Untamed, teaming up for the gang education prevention, talking directly to the kids, man, talking directly to the community. We always are talking about Boost to the Roots here in season 6, and guess what? These are the cast that we got that idea from. They got boots on the roots in the real way, and they're there doing the thing. And we definitely want to give them a shout out and give them some support. So this is happening on the 30th. Mark your calendar, September 30th at 2:30 to 5 on 42nd Street. It's 5001 North 42nd Street in Omaha. Free food, free admission. This might be something you want to bring your family to, especially if you got kids that are about to be at that age or that at that age, to kind of see what's going on there. So definitely check it out. There's going to be prevention topics that are covered and speakers, but those guys, like I said, they speak right to the kids, man. So check them out. Definitely check this out. This is on Friends of First Sky Omaha too. Mark your calendars. Definitely get there on the 30th. We appreciate everybody who has shown interest in that already.
Yeah.
Precious has some things on her agenda too. I saw on her page. I pulled this public meeting on September 27th coming up. Learn about and provide input on the city's 2024 and 2028 consolidation plan, action plan, changes to the neighborhood revitalization strategy areas, the analysis of impediments to fair housing, updates to the citizen participation plan, and pro housing application. This is the planning department, and we always talk about the planning department having so much influence on what's going on, especially when it comes to fair housing, affordable housing, and all these things. It's going to be at the venue at Highlander at 5 o'clock. Mark this on your calendar. This is one of these meetings that we definitely want to go show up to and be able to voice some opinion about. The meeting will start with a brief introduction, but will be in a roundtable discussion format. It is an open house. Feel free to come or go at your convenience. So definitely to put this on your calendars, man. This is every time we get anything from the planning department, we need to show up and see what's going on, and also speak up about it, because they're really at the forefront of a whole lot of stuff. The zoning requirements, everything that goes on when it comes to our neighborhoods, and why some neighborhoods are like they are, why housing is like it is. The planning department is a huge part of that. So definitely put that on your calendars and come through. Appreciate that very much. I didn't see a flyer, so I just pulled some stuff from our friends at the Mos Chigona Festival is happening. It's coming up. As a matter of fact, it is October. Let's see. When is this festival? I think it's October the 7th. Put that on your calendars too. We'll give you more information coming up. But a big festival, the Chigona Festival, happening at Stinson Park on the 7th of October. We'll bring you more information coming up soon on that too. But some good partners to have, man. We really are putting some things together with some people in town, and hopefully we'll build that partnership out with them. More information on that coming soon.
Yes,
Very
yes.
Precious already talked about the community shreds. This is her favorite day, September 23rd at Skinner Magnet, 4303 North 33rd Street. Yeah, take all them documents, all them old bills, all them old bank statements, all them old stuff, all that stuff that you want to get rid of, if you're an individual or a business, and go check it out. Go get your stuff shredded for free. That stuff costs a lot, actually. If you have to, if you need to get it done in a professional way. So this is a free community shred day, September 25th. Definitely check it out from 10 to 12 at Skinner Magnet. More information on that will be in Friends of Sky Omaha as well. Also, don't forget about Patty Talbert's Black Joy. She put these painting and words together. She specifically said that she did this for Black folks to come and experience. Anytime any kind of high level art show is going on like this, there'd be a whole lot of everybody else, but not a whole lot of us. So
Yeah.
she did this specifically. Definitely go check her out. That's that Project. Project is going on now. It started September 8th. It's going on until October 6th. It's that Project, which is 1818 Vinton Street in Omaha. Paintings and words by Patty Talbert, one of our great artists out here in Omaha, Nebraska, in the Midwest, and in the United States, as far as I'm concerned. So absolutely, definitely go check this out. I think there's going to be an event coming up on the 30th where she's going to try to take a big group. Maybe we can all coordinate and go with her on that. To go check it out and get as many Black folks in the room as possible. So shout out to Patty Talbert for doing what she's doing, and we'll get back to her very soon as well. Don't forget that we are absolutely still looking for Levi Blake. Mr. Blake is still out there. He's been gone since August 17th. Been missing. If you guys have seen him, then please contact these two numbers that they have here at the bottom of this flyer, 470-216-5793 or 531-203-3810. I'm going to go ahead and pin this one on Friends of Sky Omaha as well, so it'll be at the top all the time. You can keep that right there with those numbers right there for you to be able to call if you see them. Really appreciate everybody who's helped the family with these efforts so far. Shout out to Sherman Wells, who keeps on posting this as well. So yes, please, we're still looking for Mr. Blake. What would you say his nickname was, buddy?
Capone.
Yeah, his nickname is Capone or Pone. He might answer to that. I think he's dealing with a little bit of dementia that's going on. So use all the names, Mr. Blake, Levi Blake, Capone. You know, if you see him and you want to call his name out, then and make sure that that's him, then please do that, and then immediately get on this flyer and call the numbers and see if they help the family out there. So appreciate your efforts there for sure. Definitely got to talk about the stuff coming up. One of the reasons why Buddy's in town right now, the last show in Omaha ever,
Man,
for George Clinton Parliament Funkadelic. We've been trying to dig into that statement, and we're figuring out that George Clinton this is going to be his last tour of the country. This is his last musical tour ever. So he's in our part of the country right now. If you haven't got your tickets from Steelhouse, go ahead and grab that little $25 ticket, man. Come on, check out George Clinton for the last time. You've never experienced Parliament Funkadelic and George Clinton live, then you won't ever get a chance again out here in Omaha, Nebraska. So 17th, that's a Sunday night, I believe, at the Steelhouse. It's going down. George Clinton is in town. And then, of course, the very next day, we have Dave Chappelle, who's going to be at CHI Health Center. I think he's close to sell out as well on this one. So you might want to check out tickets if you want to go check him out live. He's in that realm now where it's kind of legendary status to go check out a Dave Chappelle show in a big way. So
yeah, it's a celebration.
The celebration. Another thing to celebrate is Art Battle that's coming up on what is that?
That's Saturday.
That's tomorrow. So 6:00 p.m. tomorrow. Art Battle over there at Culture House. We're just gonna be at Culture House all day tomorrow. Looks like, huh?
Yeah, man. Posted, chilling.
Yeah, big time. So Art Battle is a very exciting thing that shout out to Culture House for hosting that nationwide event over here in North Omaha. It's going down 6:00. 12 artists, 3 rounds, 1 champion. if you're an artist, you can hit them up and maybe sign up. But if you're not an artist, man, just come and check it out because this is an
Hmm.
exciting, pretty exciting event that's going down. So definitely check that out, and I'm sure that you will run into Buddi3 Da Gawd there.
Hey,
If not myself, we'll see. We'll see if we can both make it. Sometimes we kind of got to split duties when he's in town for real. I go to one thing, he goes to another thing, and but yeah, shout out to we'll be like I said, we'll be at Culture House pretty much all day from 10 till this happens at 6. We'll see what's going on, but definitely check out Art Battle if you're so inclined. Support everything Culture House does. They're the only ones doing it and doing it in a big way, man. Really helping out. I don't know what we was doing before Culture House was here,
man.
especially for the young folks in a big way, man. So
Yeah, I think there's actually also an event here tonight for the young folks. There'll be a like a hip hop concert here at the Culture House. So
wow,
yeah. Big shout out to Marcy H and the Culture House and the work they're doing, man. Definitely, if you haven't been here, check it out. Check it out.
big time, big time. Appreciate that very much. Go back and check out Gwen Easter's diatribe in the chat. Again, she has written a very long piece that we will not be able to read here, but please go back and check that out for sure.
Mm.
Thanks to everybody that's jumped into the chat here and talked about it. You definitely need to go back and look at the chat. If you miss any parts of this show in its entirety, please check out the show on Facebook or YouTube, and definitely check out the chat. A lot of stuff going on in the chat, a lot of explanations, a lot of good information, a lot of good opinions, and a lot of good conversation happening to as well. Also, one more thing before we get out here, and again, it's past 9. We apologize for breaking the agreement there, but we are doing the best we can on that. And man, here? This is what I was trying to get to right here. Tomorrow, also shout out to Mayor Sanchez reminding me it's Mexican Independence Day tomorrow,
Mm.
September 16th, Mexican Independence Day. This is not Cinco de Mayo. This is not Cinco de Mayo. This is Mexican Independence Day, and we want to give them a shout out as well. Our brothers on the South Side, especially, and black and brown pride, bro. Black and
Yeah,
brown
man.
love. It's always love. So we definitely want to give them their props to Mexican Independence Day happening tomorrow. Don't know how you're gonna celebrate, but if you gotta if you're going to, let us know. Put it in
Mm.
the Friends of First Sky Omaha and let us know how you're gonna celebrate tomorrow and how we can support that celebration. So let us know. Appreciate it very much. So we're gonna get out of here, man. Like I said, this is just piling up. The chats are going off, bro. Like it's a trip. I love it though.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Real chatty, real chimey. We thank you.
Yeah. Marion Williams says, just want to add to the previous discussion, Gallup shows 52% of millennials and Gen Z's registers independent in last election. So we saying,
Mm.
man, young folks is really going that route. But what does that exactly mean for them? What
Yeah.
is the platform for independence? We gotta ask these questions before the time is up. I ran into a couple people that had some tables out at Girls Inc. meeting. Man, they're getting people registered right now. So what are you registering as? What's going on? Let's
Now's
figure
the
it out.
time.
You
It's the
got any
season.
words for the people, buddy?
Yeah, man. Again, apologize for the technical difficulties, but thank you to everybody for sticking with us, chiming in the chat as always, letting your mind be free, letting your voice be heard. Big shout out to Precious McKesson for coming through and speaking with us. Again, we definitely got to bring her on more often. Uh, definitely have a lot more to talk about. But yeah, man, we just appreciate the support of this platform. Got a lot of good kudos and a lot of good feedback at the Flatwater Free Press event as well. A lot of fans out there, a lot of ghost listeners, more ghost listeners than we think.
Yeah.
So man, we just appreciate and love the support that we're getting. And hopefully we can continue doing the work that we're doing. So, until next time, in the meantime, between time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. And Paul B, take it
There
away.
you go. And don't forget the work that we're doing now is consisting of some training, man. We
Yeah,
cannot
man.
cannot build this army of citizen journalists that are keeping track of the powers that be without doing some training. We found out, so this is what we're into now. It seems to be our niche too, man. We seem to be doing pretty well with this kind of our thing. I'm seeing, and if you haven't registered for this yet, I'm putting the registration in the chat. Please hit that link, register, put your name down. You'll get a newsletter on Wednesday that'll tell you exactly where we're going to be at the next weekend. Tomorrow it'll be Culture House, Saturday, September 16th at 10 o'clock. We'll be there at Culture House, and Chris Baby Boy Bowling will be your instructor. So can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. Everybody who's been there, and hopefully some new folks too. Can't wait. Really appreciate you guys. I can't even tell you how much we can't do this without you. This
Man,
this show is all day long.
man.
Miss Erica Fell says, great end of the show. I'll catch the replay this evening. See y'all at the Culture House in the morning. Dominoes in my bag. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
And at George Clinton on Sunday. Hope to see everyone drink water and be good to you. Also, Marianne Williams says, just want to add, Pop says, phenomenal week of shows. The guests showed up and showed out. Loving First Sky. Have a great weekend, fam. See you Monday. Appreciate that, Pops. Appreciate you very much. Interesting. Let me see here. I saw some. I happened to get on Friends of First Sky Omaha. I think we missed some comments over there. Judy Prinzer, I think, was over there. I can't remember who said they went to Diana Ross the other night too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but shout out to everybody that went and saw that. I can't wait to hear from you guys on Monday about how that show was. The legend, I'm seeing a bunch of stuff around there. The legend was in the house. So shout out to everybody who showed up to that show and supported. Love when Omaha Performing Arts brings legendary artists here like that. So shout out to them for that. Shout out to you for going. Can't wait to hear about it. And if we missed your comments over there on Friends of, we apologize. Just want to remind you got to come over to the main page in order for your comments to be seen there. So with that, we're going to go ahead and take off. Thank you very much for joining us. We want to give thanks to the Omaha tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. We want to give shout out to our elders for allowing us to speak before them. And shout out to you, the chat chimers, of course, always with being able to speak with you as well. This show cannot happen without your participation. I brag to everybody all over town that we got the best chat in the world. Nobody uses the chat like we do, where it's just like we in a room speaking face to face to each other. And that's the way that we love it. And that's the way that you guys are respecting our platform here and doing that. Really appreciate that very much, because you see how much more information comes out when we ain't just trying to bite each other and say anonymous crazy stuff like how other chats work. So thank you again to the chat chimers and all the supporters as well. Going over the bills again, really appreciate everybody who is a $10 member, a $25 member, and a $50 member, reoccurring, coming in each month so we can continue to do this each month. And now, like I said, we're venturing into the realm of doing some training for some journalists so we can even touch our neighborhoods even better with more news and build out a black media presence. And we appreciate that. Appreciate Flatwater Free Press and Culture House for being a part of the trainings and helping us do that too. White's Family Foundation, all the other places that we get grant money from in order to do some things. We get a little bit here and there. We'll take it because they allow us to, it allows us to continue this. And we're always going to continue it and do what we want to do, say what we're going to say, and how we're going to say it. And nobody's ever going to stop us from doing that. So if anybody finds that valuable, thank you for your contribution for us to do that. And we're going to continue. Thank you. So we'll see you soon, shortly. I'm quite sure we'll see you very soon. And yes, bring your dominoes and all that good stuff. And we'll see you soon. We'll get out of here now.
Peace.
By the way, Vanguard. This is protected by the red, the black, and the green.